June 29th is the anniversary of the first ever successful trans-Pacific flight in 1927. It's amazing to think that is just 24 years after the Wright brothers flew a kind of kite at Kitty Hawk, and it's just 18 years before the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. No, look, I'm not trying to be cynical here, but I am trying to be sensible. As we celebrate breakthroughs in human ingenuity, and they are admirable, we have to remember that they're not always put to terribly good purposes. I was very much struck by this because I was recently at Moses Znaimer's Idea City conference, which was a fascinating look at all kinds of things, including a future that is rushing at us at enormous speed. And one of the presenters there, who's an enthusiast for this Hyperloop technology, which apparently will make it possible to get from Montreal to Toronto in about 38 minutes. And, I'm as sick of the 401 as the next guy. But on the other hand, I'm very mindful of Chesterton's warning that as it gets possible to get from London to Paris more and more quickly, it becomes less and less purposeful to do it because they get more and more similar. Everything turns into the galactic metropolis. So this presenter was enthusing, and he showed a picture of the Wright brothers and all the progress we've had since, and didn't put up an image of a Stuka dive bomber or an ICBM. But these things do happen. What man can do, very often man does. And the problem here is that our technical abilities are advancing rapidly, but our moral capacities aren't advancing at all. We invent, the Stone Age, we figured out that we could strike two rocks together and make a fire, and we figured that we could strike a rock and that guy's head together and make him dead. And the more powerful we become, the more dangerous the uses to which we might put our technology. Sometimes it's merely frivolous. Sometimes it's actively malevolent. A lot of things that are happening in genetic engineering, it seems to me, are very frightening without having any kind of malign purpose behind them. But a lot of things that we do with technology do have malign purpose behind them. Now, this flight across the Pacific, and by the way, it was in a Fokker C-2, which is interesting in itself because if you think of the name Fokker, you might be thinking of Manfred von Richthofen and World War I. Actually, Fokker had become a Dutch company in 1919, having originally been a critical part of the German war effort in World War I. But it was a major advance in airplanes navigating by radio beacon, also reliability of engines, fuel storage, all these kind of things. The two men who flew it, Lester Maitland and Albert Hagenberger, deserve a lot of credit for their courage and their technical skill. They got a trophy and they richly deserved it. It was an amazing achievement. But as we see the speed with which these things happen, as I said, 18 years from there to Hiroshima, and bear in mind that technology is changing faster today, not more slowly, I think we should recall the prophetic words of Lord Dunsany, who said, "We cannot be content with mustard gas. It is the age of progress, and our motto is onwards." Because we are going to go onwards, there are going to be more and more things that we can do. So as we applaud that successful landing in Hawaii back on June 29th of 1927, let us not forget all the things of which it was a harbinger. Some good, some praiseworthy, some inspiring, but others ominous or disastrous. It's all part of being human. And as I said, our technical abilities have advanced enormously even since June 29th of 1927. But our moral capabilities are right where they were then and in 49 BC. If you're enjoying these commentaries, please visit my website, that's www.johnrobson.ca, and make a contribution to sustain me in my work. Keep watching and subscribing to The Rebel for the news and commentary you will not get anywhere else.